Gregan, what do you make of these numbers?
Well, they're actually in line with our expectations. It actually would have been quite a surprise for inflation not to continue on its downward trend. As you know, inflation peaked in October of last year due to a number of factors, including very high fuel prices and drought in the region in East Africa. And with those issues both moderating as well as very tight monetary policy, inflation has come down ever since. And we think that this will continue to happen in the coming months.
And because the central bank raised its rates quite steeply to just try and bring down that inflation figure, you think it has worked and it's time to loosen it a bit?
Yeah, the central bank rate was inaugurated in July of last year at 13%. Then the central bank increased rates by 1,000 basis points. And even though it's come down a bit since the beginning of the year, from 23% to or to 20% currently, it's still quite high, and we think that that's having an impact on headline inflation.
Food prices also dropped. The statistics office attributing this mostly to increased supplies to the market. But can they keep this up, or there are risks still to this?
Can they keep what up? Sorry.
Can the food prices remain at a stable level where they are right now?
I'm sorry, the levels of inflation, can they, I'm sorry?
I'm talking about food prices, which came down and that led to the drop in inflation. But are there any risks to the food prices, or it should remain stable, do you think?
Right. Well, there's always risk to food prices. They're very volatile, as you know. However, the year doesn't have to be great in order to be better than last year. With the drought, as I mentioned, in East Africa, as well as international food prices being very high. We do think that the price of food will continue to come down, just due to statistical base effects, if nothing else.
What is the likely impact of this on the Ugandan shilling?
The shilling, that's a good point. I think that was a major factor in the central bank's decision to increase rates so drastically, was in order to help protect the shilling. Uganda has a very wide current account balance, so I think downward pressure will remain for the foreseeable future on the shilling. However, as long as the central bank rates are relatively high, we believe that portfolio investment will and other investment as well will help to supply the economy with dollars, and we don't think that the shilling will collapse, but we do think that downward pressure will continue.
And Gregan, let's finish off with the GDP, with the growth in the first quarter. What is your outlook for the Ugandan economy for the next few quarters?
We are looking at this very closely. The budget address just came out, and the Minister of Finance said that in the past financial year, there was a contraction in the manufacturing sector, and in most other industries, the growth was extremely low. Currently, we're forecasting growth of 6.2% GDP for 2012, but we'll be looking at that a little bit closer in the weeks and months ahead, and we may be downgrading that. Relative to other countries in the world, obviously, we think that it's going to grow strongly, but well below its potential and its trend.